Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Dr. Pups, and welcome back to Beacon Pines. So, we've discovered a bit more mysteries unfolding here. There was that phone booth by the little corner store there that led to this place. Don't know what's going on here. What's going on and what mysteries lie down below Beacon Pines, huh? Well, I guess we're just gonna find out today now, aren't we? Let's get a move on, shall we? Alright, so let's see. It looks like each of these has something written on them. And before that, this suit has a broken mask. So, have we found our mystery warehouse creeper? We've at least found their hazmat suit.
If it walks like a Nuncreed and talks like a Nuncreed.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
Just saying.
You never know. Alright, well, we can't go back up, so I guess we just look at these. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here?
Not that I know of.
This town is all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes.
Always says you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold.
Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation.
That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late.
Thanks, Rolo's pa. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works.
What does she do?
Science stuff. Is she involved in all this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. I don't know. Maybe something far ahead planned. Takes one phone call, right? Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place?
This is starting to feel like something big.
Let's go over on this panel. That's a lot of buttons. Press them all. Do it.
Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. You.
Rollo, what did you do?
Nothing. I didn't even mow yet.
You were gonna do something.
What was that?
Hide!
Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here.
Just get back!
Shit.
Shit!
Awesome!
Beep boop bop.
You all need to come with me. Now.
We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers.
Mr. Underground Secrets? I told them it was an absurd password. But they love anything that makes them feel clever.
They who?
That's no matter. If I could keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins.
We don't care about our skins.
Hold on now, I like my skin.
This all stops now, Nuncreed. Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him.
Who?
Walt.
You don't get to talk about my dad.
You know, your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes, adjusting my mic.
All of this.
That's a lie.
It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee.
What happened?
Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients, and I helped him. Yup. Total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says she's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it.
And my dad said no.
Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous, almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes, one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes.
Is there a point to this sob story?
Not really, no.
Cool, thanks.
Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this, but you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What?
You really don't know. My Grand isn't out of this. He's been scheming right under your nose.
Juniper?
Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party.
He's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she?
A color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does he know?
Apparently she knows a lot of things.
What?
Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today.
And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps, and explosives, and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with.
Tell
me now. She's in danger, boy.
I don't know? He had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square.
A fountain? Why would?
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source?
What the heck is the source?
If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's going to freeze us all! You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back.
Whee! That did not go how I expected.
Oh, we're totally following him, right?
Totally.
See you on the other side.
Whee! That looks fun. You good? Yep. Woo! I love this town. Chapter 8. The Cold Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed at an instant, light blazed into view. Bursts of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold. That was intense. Yeah.
I think I might have partied with some fluids in there.
Ew. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Excellent observation, Luca. I would have never guessed that. Well, what tipped you off, huh?
Doesn't look like it got on any of us.
It didn't feel like we traveled that far.
So where did it all go?
Rollo, I think you got your priorities of questions a little mixed up, man. This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Catch up to Mr. Nuncreed. Looks like we aren't getting back that way. Looks like there are like tracks here. This layout looks kind of familiar, though. Oh. That's why it looks familiar. What is going on? This looks
familiar, yeah?
Maybe we can clear off the snow. No time. Nuncreed's getting away. Oh, yeah. Is this like a replica? Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I might not be the most well-versed in all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen... Yeah, exactly, frozen replica. But...
Oh, I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien.
Rollo.
Stick with me here. Hold on, let me cook. This species can only live in sub-zero temperatures.
Oh boy, here we go.
The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through these metallic wormholes back there. The final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pines citizen of their choosing.
You never really had me. But you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving. Ooh, basketball hoop. Let me dunk. Uh-oh. As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, You've doomed this whole town.
Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Conspirators?
Gran? What's happening?
Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over the torch. You don't know what understand what you're doing.
How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled in encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to effect change.
Very convenient that your way just happened to line your pockets.
No, that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Hold on, give me a second. Alright. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage. And in the stillness, he began to weep. Aw. He began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This will all make sense soon, Luca. Then everything can go back to normal. I promise.
He stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall.
Juniper, don't!
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. Oh. He smiled and She smiled and exhaled in relief. God, I can't read today. Exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to...
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence. Oh God, is it? We're going to freeze again, are we? Yep, should have seen that one coming. Gran only had time to spit around and run to Luca, her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love pitted against an unthinking horror. There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with the mystic, unfathomable force of nature. Alright, well, which way have we not gone yet? How much far back? Alright, well, so this goes all the way back here. Oh, back to where we accidentally covered this dude in the goo. and got a little screwy uppy. Alright, so we tried fight that time, but now we got a flight. Alright. Oh, dang, we're going back. Yeah, remember this? Little callback? Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Light. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the defense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy.
See ya, jerks.
Oh, fine. We know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy went as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached a clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Damn, we were all the way to Chapter 8. Now we're back down to 5. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet and they gazed across a snowy terrain. Oh, well, at least you got a coat, Iggy.
That was actually pretty badass.
Uh-huh. I think we lost him.
Are we up in the mountains?
I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill.
Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland?
All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Find a way home. A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover?
If it is, I've never seen one like it. I guess that's Rollo.
Luca? Luca, are you there?
Luke had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying. Oh no, that's Kerr.
It's that bozo Kerr.
I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation. Oh, excuse me.
No need to.
Sorry.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded. It seems like the only dangerous things in the woods is you.
He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios?
Just lucky, I guess.
Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you?
You knew my parents?
I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom was sure a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving.
And move we shall. Oh boy. Alright, so I don't know who's who, so I'm just gonna read normally. What's the readout? Sitting above 258 Kelvin. That's a bit down from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Nah, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. There's a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with.
What's all this?
Hard to say with all this snow.
I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out the letters under there.
What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into the Weep Wood.
I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1. Snow's gotta go.
I'll see what I can do. Do we throw something? Oh. Woo! What? The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense.
We're in Beacon Pines?
How's that possible? We ran away from town. How do we get back here?
I guess we got turned around.
Where did all this snow come from?
Well, it's been colder than normal lately.
There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape.
The puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. The source. Maybe.
You think it's related? What the hell's going on?
We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice. Looks like the stuff they put up. Looks like the stuff they put up around Weep Wood.
The stuff who put up?
I don't know. Stop asking questions and we'll figure it out. Oh, the more barrel of goo.
This stuff look familiar to you?
It looks like the barrel near the puddle
Shove me into, yeah, you can say it. You can say it. Nice going, dick. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Lucan could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice. Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, swim, run, you know what I mean. Just keep swimming. A crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone.
What?
There's nothing here but more snow.
There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking.
You can look all you want. I quit.
Iggy, we have to keep going.
You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled, this town is destroyed, and everyone we've ever known is gone.
You don't know that. But you can't just quit.
Do whatever you want. I'm done.
Iggy, it's going to be okay. Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion and more than a little guilt. It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway. Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy. Let's just rest for a bit. The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of today. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming.
Yeah,
I haven't time to say it. Haven't had the time to say it, but thanks.
huh?
For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there.
Froze? 'Cause, we're in... nah. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper.
Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right?
Of course not!
And second, Stop with those baloney. Stop with this baloney about losing your temper.
But I did lose my temper. Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done.
Huh?
I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works.
Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you?
Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point.
Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights? Iggy shrugged.
It's something to do.
You're an asshole because you're bored? Yeah, it seems like bullies in general, right? They got nothing better to do, so they just pick on people.
Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Roller are always having a blast together, laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn, with his perfect little life.
My life is not perfect.
Everybody in town likes you.
Not everybody.
Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and she already likes you.
You have Tish. He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know.
Luca gave a warm chuckle. I get that impression. Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh. It must be raining out here.
Nah, it's clearly raining. Definitely. Iggy arched into a wide yawn. We should probably try to get some sleep.
Yeah.
Probably is not the best idea to sleep out in a cold like that. You might never wake up again. Tomorrow, we'll get to the bottom of all this. Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca?
Yeah?
I always did want to see the inside that little dinky treehouse. Little treehouse.
What do you think?
Not bad.
I'll give you the full tour when we get back.
You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair with humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. This is how you remember them, huh? Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aw, look at this perfect little cozy scene. You'd know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build, given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. Doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Let me show you. World flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There was a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. He was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I can never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca? Is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere. Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise, with a capital P. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. And who are you? A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. Who is it? From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his... oh my god. Iggy felt his clenched fists... Oh my god. Bear with me here, I got it. I can do this. Iggy felt his clenched fists lower. There we go.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor. You two certainly cause a lot of commotion.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take it easy, Iggy.
We were asleep minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads.
I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy.
You didn't hurt nobody.
Anybody. Double negative.
Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-hatted, scarfy-necked furball.
Mm-hmm. Nice try. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Poor phrasing in this case, Luca. Yes, exactly. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat. Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off?
Very well. Nat began to turn away indifferently. Wait! Do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are. You might also say that.
Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not?
Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are.
All right, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off. Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up. Realizing he'd worn their patience thin, Nat relented. Very well. I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home. Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes. Come here. Nat took a deep breath in. Close your eyes. Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers. Okay, open them. For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold. Until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place. Cold and disheartened. This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gape in Weepwood, or we teleported to some alternate universe, or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kern and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful.
Just give it to us straight.
So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. Find a way home. Oh, wow. Oh, we completed that task. You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair, but a replica nonetheless.
That's impossible. This is too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town.
Indeed, to pull off such a feat will require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry.
You're saying a lot of big words. I've hurt my brain.
Well, you could leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to big words are making me tongue-tied. Bleh. It has a real aversion to there's continuity, discontinuity. A revulsion, even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. My brain, my smooth brain, just ironing out the wrinkles. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably.
So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed?
Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover. Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered, "The source."
Why do you say the source like that?
Why indeed? Luca began to laugh uncomfortably. It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could. He looked down at his feet. His eyes darted back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him. If this really is home... He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out, "Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood." Chapter 6. The Source. Oh, wow. Oh, we've covered a whole lot of ground there, but I think it's a good time we end it there, don't we? All right. This is starting to get a bit much, right? Just another, we got frozen over again for like, what was it, like the fourth time, I think? I'm a little tired of that already. Let's just figure this out, all right? Can we please? All right. So, with that being said, you guys know what to do. If you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe so we can all figure out this mystery together now, shall we? You don't want to miss this. All right? So I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.